Hello and welcome to video 13, multiplication, tens and units and hundreds tens and units times units.
We're going to start with tens and units times a unit, okay, and we're going to use the column strategy. Just like we did with addition and subtraction, that means we're going to be lining up our numbers into their place value columns. Right. Now, so we've got the question here, 54 times by 3. And if we could draw that out, we might say we've got 3 groups, or 54 repeated 3 times, or we have 54 groups of 3. So remember, we can use repeated addition to check our answers, and we will be doing that as we're going along. So I'm just going to put repeated addition here to check, to remind me that we need to do that. So we're going to put 54 and 3 into columns using the column strategy. I'm going to put here 54 and 3. See that we've got the units in one column and the tens in another column. I'm going to use the multiplication sign to show that we're going to be multiplying these together. And here we've got 4 units and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens. Now, what we've got to do to make this easy for ourselves is to multiply 4 and 3 and then 50 and 3. That's called partitioning, when we break something apart, okay? So, I'm going to put some brackets down here. And I'm going to partition 54. I'm going to say 4 times 3 and 50 times 3. If you want, you could put 3 times 4 and 3 times 50. It's up to you, just make sure that you've partitioned the tens and units number into tens and units. So now we're going to do our multiplication. 4 times 3, 4 lots of 3. Check down here is 12. So I'm going to put the 2 in the units and the 1 in the tens. Now, because I don't know my 3 times table up to 50, we can use our timesing by 10 understanding to help us out. So we're going to make it 10 times smaller to begin with and say, what is 5 times 3? 5 times 3 is 15. Okay, can we make 15 10 times bigger? Of course we can, thanks to magic math. And so actually it would be 150. We've moved it up the place value position. So now that we have finished our multiplication from our partitioned numbers, we now need to bring them together. We need to add them together. Using our understanding from column addition, we're going to add these multiplicated numbers up. So I've got 2 add 0 is 2. 110 add 5 tens is 6 tens. And 100 add no other 100 is 100. So 54 times by 3 is 162. Let's go for 100 tens and units times a unit, using the column strategy and the brackets that we just done with the tens and units times a unit. I'm also aware that I forgot to use repeated addition to check my answer, so I promise we will do that one for this one. Okay, so I'm going to put 473 into columns, and I times it by 3 in the same column as the units. Okay. I'm going to put my multiplication symbol to show that what operation I'm doing, and I'm going to say what is it the same as. I can use base 10 to then make it clearer. I have 3 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens and 4 hundreds. Right. So I'm going to partition 473 so that I can put it into easier chunks. Okay. I'm going to put in my brackets 3 times the 3. 3 times the 70 and 3 times the 400. All the other way around if needs be. Make sure that you're multiplying each section of the 100 tens and units number by our multiple of 3. Right, so I've got 3 times 3, 70 times 3, 400 times 3. Now that I partition them, I can get multiplying. So 3 times 3, 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. I'm going to put that under the unit column. Again, 3 times 7 is 21. Can I make 21 10 times bigger? Yes, I can. Moving up the place value position, so that would be 210. Here, make it 100 times smaller. 4 times 3 is 12. So 10 times bigger would be 120. 100 times bigger would be 1,200. Now that I've done all my multiplication, I need to add them back together again because I'd split them apart when I was partitioning. 9 add 0 is 9. 110 add no tens is 110. 200s add 200s is 400s. And 1,000 and no thousand is 1,000. So 473 times 3 is the same as 1,419. As promised, I've used repeated addition to check my answer. So I've done 473 repeated 3 times, and I'm going to add them together. I've used my column addition to help me out. So 3, 6, 9, 7, 14, 21. I'm going to put the 1 here and carry the 2 into the next column. 4, 8, 12, add the extra 2 is 14. And yep, I've got the right answer. Now the reason we've gone through the bracket system with you, with the column multiplication, is so that you have a good understanding of what it means. And at school we'll teach you the bracket system first, so that we can apply our times in by 10, times in by 100, times in by 1,000 understanding. Once we've got the hang of that and we can do that easily, we're then going to show you a quicker method, which is what we're doing now. We're still going to use the column strategy, but we're going to be carrying, just like we did when we were adding. So I'm going to show you an example here. So I've got 29 times 3. I'm going to put, again, 29 into my columns. I'm going to put 3 underneath my units, say what it's equal to. Let me just put my place value up here to help out. And I'm going to start off. What we're going to not do is we're not going to partition this number. So we're not going to put our brackets down here. This way is a quicker method. So we're going to say 3 times 9 is 27. So I'm going to put the 7 here from the 27, and I'm going to carry the 2 into the next column. Remember, 3 times 9 is 27. So we're going to put the 7 into the units and carry these 2 tens underneath to go into the tens column. Then we're going to say 3 times 2 is 6. Add the extra 2, which is 8 tens. So our answer is 87. It's a lot quicker to do, but you've got to have understood why we were putting things in brackets and using our 10 times understanding to work that out first. If I use my repeated addition quickly to check that, I've got 29, 29, 29. Remember, that's 29 repeated 3 times. 9, 18, 27. Carry the 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. So we were correct. So look over here, with our 100 tens and units, we're going to do exactly the same thing. So we put them into our columns, and remember we're using column strategy with carrying along. So now I'm going to say 3 times 3 is 9. I don't need to carry anything because I've just got 9 units. 3 times 4 is 12, so I'm going to put the 2 tens there and carry the 100 underneath. 3 times 6 is 18, add the extra 1 is 19. So my answer is 1929. I use repeated addition again to check my answer. I'm going to add my smallest column first. 3, 6, 9, 4, 8, 12, 6, 12, 18, extra 1 is 19. So there's the quicker column multiplication strategy. Have a go at this question. You could use the bracket strategy or the carrying strategy. Pause the video and we'll go through the answers using both strategies in a second. This one I'm going to use the carrying, this one I'm going to use for the brackets. We should get the same answer, they're just, this one's quicker, more fluent than this one here. This one's got better understanding of place value. So, partition, the 100 tens and units number, so I'm going to have 3 times 6, 3 times 70, and 3 times 200. Okay, 3 times 6 is 18, 8 in the units and 1 in the tens. 3 times 7 is 21, make it 10 times bigger, is 210. 3 times 2 is 6, 10 times bigger is 60, so 100 times bigger would be 600. Add them together, 8, 2, 8. Using the carrying strategy, I'm going to say 3 times 6 is 18, 8 in the units and carry the 110 underneath. 3 times 7 is 21, add the extra 1 is 22. So the 2 in the tens and carry the 200s underneath. 3 times 2 is 6, add the extra 2 is 8. Same answer. This one was quicker than this one, but has a better place value understanding. Okay, adding to our number mind map, we have done tens and units times a unit and 100 tens and units times a unit. We looked at the bracket method and we looked at the carrying method. We also checked our answers using repeated addition. So, we used our understanding of column addition to help us with our repeated addition. And we also looked at the carrying strategy when a number was less than or equal to, more than or equal to 10.